Hello, everyone. I have returned, and let's see here. What was I doing? Possibly, I was looking for the wards for this quest next. The monuments. Might be this way. Let's see. That's the torches. We need the monuments for this. And you know what? It's not looking like they're that way. Just kind of going over the different things on here. I feel like they are. Let's see what description we have here. Find and lay my hands on the 3 Nektropos Ward monuments. Alright, so that implies. Sought to read the Nektropos Ward words. Okay, those are going to be the ones over by the tower then. I bet you it's right here. Yeah, those are the ones it's talking about. So, I don't know that I want to necessarily go in and work on that right now. I think, in fact, I will go. Oh, nice. Claude just got another level, putting him at level 58. That's pretty good. I've heard there's a bit of a wall when you hit around the 50s, and it makes it very difficult to break through and get those 10 levels up to 60 is what I understand. But anyways, back to this. I need to fill the flask at Behemoth Pond. And then there's going to be a timer that starts. And I'm going to have to run back to Dragoon K'naea a little more quickly. And let's see here. I think I may just want to straight up run it. I can't remember how long you have, but you have a decent little amount of time to get from Behemoth Pond to back to Dragoon K'naea. Wow, lag spike there. That was fun. I think probably you can just run it. I could take the griffin. So say I'm here, and I run down to the griffin over here. It's a pretty short little hop, and then I could fly part of the way, but I'm honestly not sure that would be that much faster than just running straight over, because it's not going to fly me super close to where I need to go. Anyway, so we'll just see. We'll see what happens. I think there's enough time to make it back to him. I can't really remember how much time, but I think there's enough to make it fairly easily back over to him. But you know what? Let's find out. The pond is going to be right over there where the large bones are in the water in the middle of this little island along the river. So, ooh, a shiny. Now, when I'm desperately making the run back to Dragoon K'naea from there, the idea is that I won't be stopping for shinies along the way. The reality is, though, that I probably will be stopping for shinies along the way, because if I see one, odds are very, very good that I'm going to stop and grab it. It's how they get you, you know? I will be distracted by that if it presents itself to me at that time. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to try to fill the flask, and we're just going to run straight over, because we're going to head this direction and try to make it. You see that we have, it gave us a long time, almost 9 minutes. We have 8 minutes and 43 seconds remaining on the timer. So the odds are that this will not be a very big deal at all, as I recalled. It's not that huge of a thing, especially at the level that I'm at. I'm at level 35 now. And the quest, let's see. The quest is a level 28 quest. Nope, that's wrong. Dragoon K'naea is a level 30 quest. And see, I'm really tempted to go give that those rainbow lights to try, but the reality is those are not working in Neck Forest. I keep trying it anyway because I just have high hopes somewhere in the depths of my soul that it'll work. Thus far, every single time I've tried the rainbow lights in Neck Forest, it has not worked. Don Ruffington said that they have consistently not worked on this server. So, you know, and that's for Neck Forest. He's referring to in Neck Forest. They've not worked. I just ran out of my way to get aggro on me. I don't know why. Just my idea of a good time, I guess. Make things a little more difficult. Can't have it easy all the time. We still have 7 minutes left, and we've already traveled this far, so I think this is going to be particularly difficult to make it to Dragoon K'naea. I haven't even hit the sprint. I've just been straight up running. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna try it without using sprint, just so that we can find out how much time there is if you just run over, don't use the griffins, don't use sprint. It's tempting to use the sprint just because I sometimes prefer to use that whenever I'm running just to make things go a little faster. But I want to see what happens because I feel like without using any of those things, it's still going to be no problem. That being said, of course, I'm a scout, so I have this this boost right here, this pathfinding, which improves my speed by 16%. If you don't have a scout, though, a mount improves your speed by more than that at this level. I think 20%, something like that, maybe even a little more than that. So if you were just any class and race, you could have a mount of any kind and run faster than this one is. I'm going to go get some more of these rounded up if they are aggro. Nope, none of that is aggro. There's a wasp. All right, so we're going to get hit. Not even going to go over this little ridge right here. I'm going to go around and just see what we're looking at as far as the amount of time that it takes. So I've had creatures on me for some of this. No sprinting. No griffins. We still have 5.5 minutes left, and I've mostly ran pretty near to the road. Didn't go over anything except for the very first area over there. So now I'm just gonna beeline for him pretty much, and I think it's gonna be not an issue. I seriously doubt it would change that much if I was level 30, which is what the quest level is in the journal. It's actually 30 heroic. Some of the things that are heroic quests are marked as heroic in the journal, and some of them aren't. Feel like there may have been more of that done in the past, but I'm not really sure. It used to be more meaningful than it is like on live. But let's see here. Here's Dragoon K'naea. We still have 4 minutes, 27 seconds left, so.
Well met.
He says, "Have you brought me the water as I asked?" And I say, "Here, take it." He says, "It has been a long time since I have savored the taste of water from the Behemoth Pond. You have done as I asked. I will not name you an ally to the Thixian cause, but for the time being, you are not an enemy." I say, "What is the cause you're trying to lead?" He says, "Do not think for one instant that I lead this cause. I am a loyal son of Nereak and a dragoon from the house of Thex. My last order, along with the others, was to return here and await his return." I say, "But you lead these people now. They do as you say." He says, "The command I have here is by circumstance, not by choice. When one of higher rank arrives, then I will gladly yield command of these camps. For the time being, yes, I am the authority here." I say, "Didn't you bring these Thexians here?" He says, "No, these people, my people, were here when I arrived. They are loyal sons and daughters of Nereak, unlike those that have fled to the human protections of Freeport. We are the ones that remain loyal to the Tyrdal Empire, and when the time comes, we will be the ones ready to re-enter Nereak and rejoin our people." I say, "What can I do so that you will see me as an ally?" He says, "Foolishly determined, aren't you?" If you can return to me what was once taken, I will look upon you as an ally. And I say, what was taken from you? He says, during my earliest days in the Empire's army, I took a fine halberd made of brass from an orc of the Shrelok clan. The shrine was so great I could see my enemies even behind me. That weapon served me well at the Battle of Bloody Ithacor. Because of the events that transpired there, the weapon seemed to have been imbued by the great powers of hate. Others noticed this as well, including a dragoon at the battle. I say, this dragoon took the weapon from you? He says Dragoon K'naea, who would later become a dragoon captain, saw the potential in the weapon and challenged me for it in unarmed combat just one day after the battle ended. He could easily see I was badly wounded, but demanded I accept the challenge regardless. I was easily defeated because of my injuries and was forced to yield the weapon. He took it from me dishonorably, and I wish to have it back. I say, if he is a dragoon, shouldn't he be headed here? He says his regiment was stationed here at the Dragoon Citadel in the western side of the Nektulos Forest during the War of Fae while I was in Fedork. His entire regiment was wiped out during the attacks. The weapon now lies in those ruins. I say, if the weapon is lying in ruins, why haven't you retrieved it? He says the regiment was destroyed, but they still exist on in unlife. I will not and cannot engage another dragoon in combat in this life or in any life. Seek out the citadel and Hussein, face him, and return to me with the weapon. Do this, and you will be my ally. I say, I'll get the weapon for you. All right. So there you go. Promises, promises. Gulthix Citadel that he's referring to, which is way over here with those Gulthix mystics that I'm was unable to deal with earlier today. But it is not where I'm headed at the moment. Currently, I'm going to head north. I've got to lay Maltena to rest, update that step by talking to a dude over by Nek Castle. And I also need to do the ward monuments over there. Let's see here. Oh, thank you for the follow there, Darkest Kula. So what we're going to do is just run along these mountains, I think, and possibly circumvent the need to go around the entirety of all that mountain range. I'm not going to go try to recover K'naea's weapon right now, because I would definitely be slaughtered by the dudes in there if I'm by myself at this level. So for now, we're just going to come over here, give these wards a try. So I think that when Echoes of Fadewar comes out, there may be another heritage quest added to the game. There may be In Honor and Service, which is a level 15 heritage quest in Greater Fadar. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I cannot recall if it was added then or if it came along later. I feel almost like it was added to the game later on, but it's been some time, and I can't say for sure. So if anybody knows, let me know for sure. We have these. You know, I ran by here on my way into Nek Castle yesterday, but I didn't stop and check out the headstones. I was just kind of on my way in, because we were working on unlocking the doors. That was my initial plan, was just to kind of maybe unlock the library and things like that. But once I got in there, we ended up unlocking all of the doors, including everything all the way down, and doing Everling at the bottom. Here we have Volton Darklands, who says, "My poor twin sister, will someone help me?" And then he says, "I am a desperate man. Can you really help me? I cannot do this myself. Can I trust you?" I say, "You can trust me." He says, "May the blessings of the ancient times be with you and yours, for tragically they are not with my family. Poor sister, poor Maltena, cursed forever to walk this wretched place. I cannot help her alone." I say, "What sort of help do you need?" He says, They are doomed to walk forever, those within these cursed walls. I have done what I could by rescuing her remains, and yet the curse remains upon her. I see now that she must be scattered, her bones separated from this place and each other so that she can rest at last. Are you willing to travel to distant lands so that my sister Maltena may find peace? And I say, I will do what is needed. Going that way anyway, right? He says, place some of her bones with our ancestors across Norath. You will find them in the Enchanted Lands, in the Furet, in Everfrost far to the north, and in Lavastorm. The lands have changed much, but I am sure that K'naea will guide you to the burial sites of our family's ancestors in these distant places. When you have scattered Maltena's bones, please return to me that I may reward you handsomely. And I say, I will return. Now, let's see what that handsome reward is, just, for the sake of our own curiosity. Putting Maltena to rest. The reward? Nah, he doesn't tell us. So he just says, "I'll reward you handsomely," but it's a little vague. It's like, one man's handsome is another man's ugly, right? You never know. Anyway, so that is the update on that quest. The ward monuments are around this castle, and let me see if I can get to them without, you know, without dying too badly. The stealth is very nice. It's not 100% effective, of course. There's one laying over on its side over here, one of the monuments. And of course, when we click it, it'll break the stealth. But that's okay because, well, I guess I should read this. This is a ruined ancient monument of dark elf design. It contains evil glyphs. There are symbols that can also be found on the nearby castle. I'm going to say, touch the monument. As your fingers pass over the glyphs, you feel a slight surge of energy pass between the monument and you. Now we will stop inspecting the monument. All right, so we got that one. You see on the map where we are, we're right there. All right. Now we're going to go a little further and look for the next monument. Total of 3 of them, and they're all going to be around the building here, the Nek Castle. So the key thing, there's a name right there. We don't want to play with them for sure. All right, one of them's right over here. And I think that's the next one. So if you have invis instead of stealth, I think these people don't see through invis any better than they see through stealth. I feel like a few of them might see through, so do be somewhat careful. And of course, whenever you go to touch this thing, it will break your stealth, so or your invis, whichever the case may be. So be aware that these guys will become very aggro to you when that happens. I'm going to give it a whole second for him to pass by and then take a risk right now. And then go back in stealth. And it says this is a ruined ancient monument of dark elf design. It contains evil glyphs, so it's exactly the same as the other one. There are symbols that also can be found on the nearby castle. We touch the monument, and it says the same thing as before. And now, onward and upward, we go to the next ward over here. It's very close. So, this is for a calling in the forest, which, as I recall, was the access quest initially to be able to get in the doors of Nek Castle. The ruined ancient artifact of dark elf design, it is faintly. A resonance of mana can be felt emanating from it. It contains evil glyphs, similar to those found on the nearby ruined monuments. Okay, that's right. This is the last one we're going to turn into. Was incorrect. So we actually have to go further and find another of the monuments. And then I think come back and touch that one. So here's actually the last of these ward monuments. We're going to be seen. So we're going to just touch the monument and keep running. And what I'm going to do, I think, is just run back over to this one. And if he's not off of me, I'll just feign death to knock him off. I think he will be off of me because I haven't engaged with him. We'll see. No, we still got the fire going, so there we go. Outran him. Now come back because it says I must find the ward shrine. I think that's this. Okay, ruined ancient artifact. Yes, we read this already. Contains evil glyphs. We're going to speak the words of the Nektropos Ward. From within your lungs, a magical brush surges out, and through your mouth, a magical phrase of odd tongues bellows out. This is nothing you understand. When we click Stop Inspecting, I must speak to the Nektropos Castle herald. This is a kind of a neat thing. We'll go around this way. But in case you haven't done this quest before, I won't tell you what's going to happen. But I thought it was pretty cool the first time that I experienced it. So no spoilers here today. But it'll be pretty. I thought it was a nice touch. Let's just say that. Unfortunately, the suspense is building longer than completely necessary because the run is not super fast. Let's uninvis and make it a little bit quicker. Alright, so we run up like we're going to go into Nektropos Castle. And check that out. Isn't that cool? Like, he just, comes up out of the ground, out of the brick, Boom. Skeleton. Herald of Nektropos. Cool. He says, welcome to Nektropos Castle. The master is expecting you. I say, I wish to enter Nektropos Castle. He says you may now enter the castle of the House of Everling. The master awaits. I'm just talking over him apparently today. He says, I say, I have a bad feeling about this. Well, my feeling isn't actually all that bad about this, because to be honest, I've done this before. We've been here, we've been down this road, But look, we got this cool little secondary and ranged item, and if you don't already have something in your ranged slot that you enjoy, and especially if you happen to be like a caster kind of person, then you may very much like this taut flesh poem that you get as a result of doing this access quest. However, all I did it for was, for the joy of it all. And the just, the pure warmth and lovely feelings of having accomplished a completion of yet another quest. So, everybody can do it for whatever reasons they want to. Howsoever, me, I think I've done a good bit of my net quests at this point. Still have some, most of which I would rather wait on other people to join me for, because I feel like most of these are not going to be pretty by myself. Some of them I would be able to do, but it would be very, very slow going. And it'll just be a lot better for me if I wait. So, with that being said, I wonder if they updated the Fallen Gate quest. So with Naren Heirloom, you have to go and find the tall Naren's brother in Fallen Gate. Now, he should be in the first room to the right after you go into that hallway in Fallen Gate. But his body has not been there. As a result, I cannot update Naren Heirloom, and that also means that I can't update Do or Die Says Irizon in Common Lands. Because you have to do Vital Naren's quests before you can do his quest, before you can update that. So I'm not able to update either one of those right now. I do need to kill the Priest of Bizola, also in Fallen Gate. That's just a named who's up, sometimes. Again, I would prefer to wait on others to go in there. So I think I'll not head that way. I don't know what my lockout currently is on Nek Castle, but let's find out. Put that on auto run. Nek Castle, okay, so it's considered a success because I killed Everling, and therefore it's going to be 2 days and 2 hours left before I can head back into there, unfortunately. I do have some quests in there. So, failure lockout is only 18 hours. That's if you don't kill Everling. But if you do kill Everling, it's 2 days and 18 hours lockout time in that zone. Unfortunate, but true. So I can't do any of the Nektropos Castle quests until then. When I do, some of these will be pretty straightforward, but some of them will take a little bit more. Like a missing mask is a heritage quest in there. It's a pretty good little quest. This is the reward to it right here. Again, it's one of those things that I enjoy doing the heritage quests. I always try to knock them out. I like the guild XP that they give, the status points that they give. The rewards are cool too, but a lot of it isn't necessarily important. The gear itself isn't necessarily the important part. I'm supposed to go to North Freeport to find the Tome Elucid. I don't know if it's Elucid or if it is. Well, there's a bunch of different ways you could pronounce this, actually. It could be Elucide. It could be Elucide. I don't know. I'm not sure how it's intended to be pronounced. But no matter how you pronounce it, you're supposed to find his journal in the Academy of Arcane Sciences, which is not so easy for a K'naean. So, haven't done that one yet. I've got Hides of Brianna, for Brianna. That would be an easy one off of the Thundering Steps. I actually haven't finished doing all of the cleansing the corruptions that I could do in Stormhold. Oh man, I can't believe that I still haven't gone back to Spindlecob in the Baubleshire. Any of the times that I've been there. It's a shame. It's a dang shame. I've got Stiletto's orders. So that one is underneath Octogorgon in a treasure chest in the Cove of Decay. Haven't done that yet. I do need to go into the Crypt of Betrayal for a couple of different things. Yeah, do I want to? I guess I could do that. So I've got the Baubleshire and I've got the Crypt of Decay. I could work on getting spare parts from the coffin and the Crypt of Betrayal. Is for the passage to the Isle of Zek, which was the old access quest for opening up the ability to go to Zek. And then, of course, I have the one here from Captain Corrigan. However, I also have a quest to pick up right over here. So, I think I'll go have a look at that. Don't really want to deal with cleansing the Fireman's Gully. I don't know. I'm trying to decide what I want to do right now. Thundering Steps is a possibility, but first, Cork Derrick.
Well met.
He says, I see you weren't eaten by the owlbears. Ready for more? And I say, yes. He says, good. What you're standing on right now is a beach. Sand near water. Go explore the water and bring me back the remains of others who tried to explore it. And I say, okay. So, he wants me to bring back the remains of dead explorers that are under the sea. He says, a little advice. Try not to look like food to the sharks. I say, great. Thanks. Yeah. It's just what I like to hear right there. Alright, so we are going out here, and I think there are... Ooh, what is this? Yes. Yes, it is there, indeed, that we want to go to. Alright. Swimming out in the water. I'm not too worried about avoiding the sharks. But this is more of a quick and easy thing that we can knock out without a lot of brain power. It is definitely one of the things that I prefer to have, like, Haddon's Hearing for, simply because I do not like not being able to breathe underwater. I could go do, go get some Totem of the Otters, because they let you breathe underwater, but not really terribly interested in that. We got some more over here. Right there, I think. Yep. It's rather dark out here, isn't it? Makes one's eyes go all funny, like, it's a foggy skyline in the dark. It's getting a little more clear now as we approach the docks area. So I think we need to go down here pretty soon. And these remains are kind of floating. It's not great. I think the others are pretty nearby too. Feel like let's just check the map and make life easy. Over here. Now, the good news is, I'm supposed to have a shipment coming in tomorrow from Amazon that should have the charging cable that I ordered for my other laptop. And hopefully that means that I can get the other laptop on and start moving over, EverQuest and all of the related things to that computer. And hopefully give you guys a better viewing experience and be able ultimately to get a second monitor and be able to, have the chat for Twitch on one screen and then have the gameplay on the other screen, and hopefully I can be more responsive as well as being able to know when an ad is going to come up and things like that. I think that I'll be able to do that. Hope that I'll be able to do that. And apparently I'll be able to see the people who are currently viewing. This is all my hope. We'll see if that happens or not. All right, so let's talk to Torb. He says, "Well done. I'm impressed that you're still in one piece. Here is a little reward for you. Come back when you dry out." And I say, "Thanks." I take my 11 silver with a smile. Then I say, "Hey, Torb."
Well met.
He says, "Since you still have all of your limbs, it is clear you haven't been risking them enough. I know you've been avoiding the owlbears, and not only does it hurt their feelings, but it makes me think you're a coward. You aren't a coward, are you?" I say, "Of course not. Let me at it." He says, "Good. Go and get me 5 owlbear feathers." I say, "I'm on it." So here we are at owlbears again. "Watch your fingers," he says. I say, "Will do." So, once more, owlbear fighting. All the time with the owlbears. But that's okay. I suppose we can kill some more owlbears. Why not? I only need 5 owlbear feathers. And I don't know if these update every time you kill one or if it's a random trigger when you kill one. But we shall see.
Well met.
So let's see. We will fly toward the common land station. And should be able to get over to the owlbears pretty quickly. They are in this area over here for the owlbears. So when I get most of the way there, I'll jump, and we'll make it a little bit quicker of a run than if we flew all the way to the Griffin station. So. listening to the soothing sounds of the griffin wings as we fly across this horrible, horrible place. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and jump here and then run this direction. As you're going across the river, you'll see that you get these detriments on you. They are soul drain. Decreases in combat movement speed of target by 3%, increases spell and ability costs by 10%. So they are not lovely to have on you, but it comes from the soul leeches in the water along the riverbanks. So just so you know, that happens. Now, to make life a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my chat and type in owl, short for owlbear, in case you wondered. I'm not really interested in the rumble route. Now there's Foulfeather, and I feel like he's for a quest, so I don't want to kill him unless he just, makes a nuisance of himself. Let's see if we can get a few of these on here. Okay, so the first one updated. Second one updated. So it looks like it's a 1-for-1 update, or else I've just been extremely lucky, which doesn't sound like me at all, so I suspect this is just 1 kill, 1 update. Alright, simple enough. Got all those. No biggie. So again, I'm just going to run by Foulfeather. I don't care that he's on me, because I do think he's for a quest, and I don't want to take somebody's quest update away whenever there's no real need to. So at this point, I'm going to run over to the Griffin Tower here and fly back to the docks to update with Torque. Had I been working more efficiently, I could have gotten all of the owlbear quests simultaneously, and that would have been the better way to go about this. But we're not going crazy and doing things smart around these parts. Slow and steady wins the race. Extra owlbear killing never hurt anybody.
Hello.
Alright, so we're going to head to the docks. Now, I will mention that for the last couple of days, I haven't noticed something that I had previously been noticing, where when you're flying along with the griffin, there would appear like a griffin coming at you just out of nowhere, and it would make this sound as like, raw, it wasn't like that. I don't know. It was just this strange sound. And it would just be there and then disappear, and it would just keep happening as you were flying on the griffins. Whatever was causing that to happen, I think it must have been fixed, because I haven't seen it in a few days. And maybe I'm too preemptive in this statement, but it feels like it's been fixed. It can prove me wrong at any second. We'll see. It gives me hope. Maybe Maybe Vitolneran's brother has also been updated. Who knows? Let's try Torque. He says, good work. Come see me again when you're ready for your last challenge. I like the sound of that. Let's take that 5 silver. I say, okay. Next, he says,
Hello.
have you absorbed enough of my lessons to face this last test? I say, yes, I have. He says, it is time to see just how dense you are. There is an owlbear that has been alive and roaming these woods since the cataclysm. I have left him alone, but I want you to find him and kill him. Can you do this? And I say, sounds easy enough. And now I think we're being given the quest to kill Foulfeather. We are. How lovely that we didn't kill him earlier. So, turns out there is a quest that needs Foulfeather. He says, good luck. I say, thanks. And that quest is the very one that I was on. So, excellent. Now, I'm not going to hesitate to kill Foulfeather. So, good to know. I had been asking somebody just the other day which quest Foulfeather was for, and we couldn't remember.
I greet you.
But now, we have all the info we need. So I'll let my guildies know. So we'll fly back over to the same area that we were in. We'll jump at approximately the same location. And then run over to where Foulfeather awaits. It feels like if the griffin just flew just slightly higher, then the griffin would not need to stick to the path necessarily and could go straight like a bird. But what do I know? I jumped a little later than I ought to have, but oh well. Now let's go ahead and pull our tracking window back up. I think we're just around the corner from where Foulfeather is. Yes, there he is. Very nice. And if I can remember to, I may go ahead and go over to check on Vitolneran's brother to see if his corpse is there. After all, today is Tuesday, and they did do some updates this morning. Perhaps they fixed that. I actually didn't see exactly what the updates were that they did. I don't know if anybody else noticed what happened in today's update period. But honestly, even if it was superficially unrelated, I feel like whatever broke those sorts of updates was obviously an unintentional thing that affected it. So even if what they updated unknowingly fixed the problem, there's always a chance that it may have done so. Anyway. Oh, looks like Elysium is on this server. I believe that Elysium is a guild that is on Much Duel. Feel like it seems familiar to me. I see general chat talking. Gilded familiars. Oh, I see. Okay, so their appearance pets. So I hadn't explored the market terribly much. All of the exploration that I've done with it has been while streaming, and so I'm not sure what all there is, but it looks like they're saying that there are familiars available on the market, and that on here they are just cosmetic pets, which, of course, yeah, they should not have uh, familiars on here in any way other than cosmetic, certainly. Shadow Rift Watcher is upon me. I always have to make sure that I'm going the right way in the yapping maze. For some reason, this place gets me turned around more than anywhere. It's funny, there's just not really all that much to get lost in, but I can manage it. Ruins of our Soon group's looking for a tank replacement, so if any of you are into that, it's available. You've also got somebody looking for the last spot in the nest group. They don't really care what. EOA looking for replacement Bard or DPS. Man, groups are just hopping with needing one more participant. As for me, I'm gonna go see if the tall Naren's brother is hanging out over here. And I ought to look and see if there's any shiny hanging out on the way in, because, that's also an important thing to do. Looks like somebody's recently come through here. Oh yeah, there they are. Alright, Vital Naren's brother really should be right here. And is not. I wonder if I can do like slash target. 8. Okay, that gives me Owlbear, one of those fighters over there. Let's see. Slash the target. Because I think it's like I don't know, some kind of corpse. Excavator's all I get. I'm going to try it with a space. Let's see. I wish I could remember what exactly it was. So like it might have been a corpse target. Let's try just corpse. No luck. I really don't know what's going on here. Let's see here. Let's let these people know. Anybody can have it. Just trying to warn them. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else in here I want to do? I'm really not interested in messing with the Priest of Azola right now. So I think just checking on that was pretty well all I wanted. I'll grab some shinies while I'm here. And pop on out of here and head back to Torque. Because as mentioned, I'm not really interested in doing anything in Fallen Gate other than just checking on the body. It obviously has not been fixed, unfortunately. So, well, that's okay. Perhaps another time. In which case, I'll run over to Nektropos Forest, update Torque. Which, let's see here. That is for finals. And the reward for that is the Talisman of Survival, which would be wonderful if I were a caster kind, and not so wonderful for any other, for my class specifically. Intelligence is the one thing that a swashbuckler has absolutely no need for whatsoever, because swashbuckler, I don't have any spells at all. Everything I have is combat arts. And intelligence, it increases the amount that spells do. So that just doesn't mesh well with a swashbuckler overall. Now these shadowed men that are over here, if you kill them, you kill all the shadowed men and all that are right there, then it opens up Obelisk of Lost Souls. So anytime you want to go to Obelisk of Lost Souls, you can find them all over the Shattered Land. Anytime you find some high-level shadowed men who are just kind of sitting around in their mid-30s, hanging out with their friends, if you kill all of them, then it's going to open up the... Oh, Calthea says that Valfeather is also for an armor quest. That's funny, because that's what I had been thinking that he was the other day, that he was a armor quest update. And then I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And then today, finding him as a necessity for Torque's quest, I was like, well, that must be correct then. So cool to find out that he's also for an armor quest. I feel like it's a scout.
Hello.
Scout armor quest? Possibly. Let's see here. We want to go to the dogs. And by scout, I mean chain. Maybe. Don't know. Or maybe leather. Cannot remember. And like I said, my thought on it was vague and uncertain from the start, so. The griffins in this zone, and I want to say also in Thundering Steps, fly a lot faster than they once did. It's like they got a little speed boost at one point, and it shows. So we're going to jump off right here, come chat with Torque again. He says, congratulations, you're not even half as dense as I thought. And I say, thanks. He says, you're welcome. You have done well. To continue the trials, you must now speak with Mistress Jeta Harn. She is further down the beach, toward the water. This says toward to water, but we're going to translate that to toward the water. Just a little tip. Call her mistress and know your place. You do not want her to have to show you. And I say I will. Thank you. And I'll take my 11 silver and my talisman and be done with him. For now. I think I'm going the wrong way. I think it's that way. Yeah, that one there. So Jeta Harn is our next quest giver for this little line. I asked if it was chain or leather, and Calthea says, certainly one of them. Yeah. Pretty sure it's not cloth or plate. That's about how much we've established there. It's funny. Okay, and here's Jeta Harn over here.
Hello.
She says, why are you assaulting me with your stench? I say, I mean no offense, mistress. She says, do you fear me? Of course you do. And that would also explain the stink that follows you. Tell me, can you even learn what I'm going to teach you? I will not be fooled like Torque and Brune. I say, I can, mistress. She says, it is time to see how long you can survive against a real foe. The cursed bones of the former protectors of this area now roam and strike at all who enter their domain. Have you seen them? Did you avoid them and hide behind a tree? I say, I have seen them. She says, I wonder if you can even face them without sniveling like a child. Tell me, will you cry and run when they close in on you? And I say, no, I will stand and face them. She says, go then, and bring me proof that you have slain the dead. I say, I will return. Alright, and it says I need to collect the skulls of 10 undead Dragoon sentries in Nektulos Forest. Now, there are a bunch of sentries that are non-heroic. A bunch of the Dragoon sentries. I am wondering, though, if I want to bother with that right now. So I feel like I have some quests over in the Thundering Steppes that may be easier to knock out in large quantities. Like, I just have more of them. So I think I'm going to head that way. I'll check and see on the docks if I need to mend. I don't think that I do. And I'm going to try to remember not to update with Captain Corrigan because he'll send me on a ship. And I don't want to go on a ship. Well, it's actually this one right here. Not updating with him. See that? Nice job. I congratulate myself. I'm going to check with the mender. I don't think I need him. I don't. But you should always check. Menders are incredibly useful. And it's, when you forget to check, then you end up being down and out in some instance somewhere, scrounging for something from your bags to throw on so that you can continue playing the game, really. Room for one more quest. I may as well pick this one up. It is a repeatable.
You slaying those dark entities. It's made the area a lot safer.
I say it is no trouble. Any luck finding the ones that are responsible for killing your men?
All my digging for information led me to discover an occult group that I thought was responsible for killing my supply runners. I didn't find any evidence linking them, but I did discover their devious plan to terrorize the local settlements.
A threat to the local population is definitely not a good thing.
I agree. I feel we must stop these dark entities before they harm any more of our people. Will you go on one more mission to defeat these fiends?
I'll take care of those dark creatures like I did with the other ones. Alright. Slay 10 giants. For they have been known to attack unwary travelers. Alright. We'll keep that in mind while we come look for a shiny in this area. And, fingers crossed on it being a striped red ant. That is what old Eloise needs. Eloise Laceleaf, who drops your offerings. and then has you go get another one for her. Very rude, I'd say, but here we are. Searching for one anyway. Let's see what we get. Oh my gosh! It is the coveted striped red ant. Alright. Now, do not put it in the collection, but rather come over here. Bye, Shadows Rat. Thank you very much for the gifting a sub to EverQuest too. That's awesome. It's a wonderful celebratory gift right there. So, now we're going to go turn this into Eloise Laceleaf on the docks of Thundering Steps. I'll show you where she's at. If you want to beat your head into a wall for a very long time, picking up various things, butterflies, moths, ants, this is where you want to go. She says, "Say, are you a collector too? I'm having the worst luck." And then we talk to her.
Hello
She
there.
says, "I had to put salve on that ant bite. The nerve of the little bugger. Did you manage to find another perfect specimen?" And I say, "Sure did. Here you go." She says, "This is absolutely the most perfect striped ant I've ever seen. Just look at its little antennae. I know this has been an inconvenience for you, but with my collection complete, I can make my home so much more special. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I say, "I hope you stop collecting things. I really, really do." And then we get this just absolutely gorgeous 14 slot bag. Yeah, amazing, right? All of the cheering. Yeah, incredible. And it just continues. I don't know what the sound is. It's this continual rattle. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can make it stop. It feels like some alert on steroids or something. I'm gonna start by clicking the X button to stop that. Did that stop the sound for you guys? I don't know if it's intentional or not. See, it could just be somebody messing with me for all I know. It's going on and on. I'm gonna see if it's a sound that this can make. Hopefully you guys aren't still hearing it. I think it's either the first time that I'm hearing it, or it's the first time that it's gone on for so long. Can you still hear it now? Well, it's not that. Okay, cool. I tried shutting off the desktop audio. Let's see if I can make the sound go away. I feel like it must be just something stuck in a loop. It's definitely it's definitely interesting. I'm just turning off the sounds of various alerts and seeing if that knocks it off. And then I can turn it back on later, theoretically. Huh. I have no idea. Well, nobody died. That's good. At least I turned down all the alert sounds this morning so that it wasn't incredibly loud for everyone. I wonder if there's any way to like temporarily shut down all of the alert sounds at one time. Because on my screen it's still going. No idea. You know what I'll try? I'll try turning it off and turning it back on. Maybe that'll fix it. Alright, it may knock me off of here for a second, but if so, I'll be right back.